Watching the video from inside or outside the United States, always love to know. Today's video is a story that I was talking about a couple videos ago that happened at the rope swing where the cop showed up. It's quite a crazy time. I hope you guys enjoy the story. Leave a like on the video, helps the channel out. So this happened when I was about 16 years old. This is when I was on probation. The days of misery. The days where I was controlled. I couldn't do much. I had an ankle bracelet or an ankle monitor on, tracking my every move. This was really shortly after I got off house arrest, but I still had to wear it for like another 2 weeks or something after for some reason. And the one thing that we'd love to do, and we had absolutely just nothing to do, was go to the rope swing. It was a fun time. It was this really chill spot, pretty secluded, and a lot of the people that would go down there were really chill. We used to find people with like the dankest tree that would often give us just like a little bit, couple roaches or something out of their ashtray. Keep in mind this was back in the fiend days, but this specific story, I was on probation, couldn't blaze, had nothing to do, went down to the rope swing just to swim, just to actually swim. There's two reasons to go down to the rope swing: to go off the rope swing and to do drugs. And now that the rope swing isn't there, because they sadly cut the tree down, the only type of people that go down there now is people that are doing drugs and being wild. So not a place I like to go anymore, but at the time it was very chill. It was a hot summer day, perfect day for swimming, the best kind of days to go down there. It was me and one friend, and as soon as we got down there, we both had smiles on our faces because we recognized one of the cars that was parked up next to the rope swing. It was this super chill dude. He'd always tell us stories about growing like massive amounts of bud, and just all the stories that he would tell us, he'd be like, man, when I grow up, I want to do that too. He was inspiring to the 16-year-old degenerate mindset that I had at the time. So we walk up to the rope swing, say what's up, spark a conversation. We're taking turns going off the rope swing. And I remember having a conversation with him that kind of stuck with me to this day. This was one of the reasons that I wanted to quit smoking cigarettes at the time, because I was big into it, especially when I was on probation, because I couldn't smoke bud, and that's all I wanted to do. So it was like just the only thing I could do other than like drink alcohol or something, which I was never a fan of. And obviously I wasn't supposed to on probation, but who's gonna know? Unless I'm being wild with it and get caught in public or something, which was never something I'd do. I remember he had this conversation with me. It was more of like a lesson of the day, reading Rainbow, the more you know type of situation. And he was just explaining to me as I was chain smoking cigarettes. He's just like, man, like you smoke bud, man? And I'm like, yeah, well, I got this ankle bracelet. I'm on probation, so I can't right now. And he's just like, man, if you go back to it when you finally can, you got to quit the cigs. And I was like, yeah. Just another adult telling me not to smoke. At 16 years old, I didn't give a shit. I didn't want to hear any of that. Like anything, anybody would tell me, oh, it'll kill you, it's bad for you. I didn't care at all at the time, honestly. But it coming from him kind of meant a lot to me. So, I listened, and he's like, it's not about the health. It's not about the money. It's about really enjoying bud. He told me that as long as I'm smoking cigarettes, I won't truly enjoy bud. And I don't know, that always stuck with me, because every time I'd smoke, I'd always smoke a cigarette after. I think if you smoke cigarettes and bud, I think you probably do the same thing. It kind of gives you that little kick, that little bonus buzz. The synergy of the two, especially first thing in the morning with a little iced coffee, crazy. I think that was the first time an adult ever got through that mentality in my head, the 16-year-old degenerate mentality, and actually broke through and spoke to me a little bit. I think that was like one of the first times I ever thought about it and was like, man, maybe he's right. Like I love smoking bud. Maybe I'm not enjoying it to the fullest. So about like 15-20 minutes after this conversation, we're just going off the rope swing, and he's there with someone else. So we're kind of having like separate conversations, me and my friend that I came with, and then him and some other person. And I could smell that sweet, fine pine in the air, dude. He used to have the craziest smelling bud. And I don't know if it was because I was on probation and I couldn't do it, and like it had been so long since I smoked bud, but oh man, it smelled so good. He used to bring the biggest Wiz Khalifa sized joints and just get so baked and just go off the rope swing doing backflips. And I'm sitting here talking with my friend, and I start to hear a car coming down the path. The path to the rope swing kind of bends around a corner, but you can hear cars starting to come towards you because it's like a gravel road. And I hear a car start to pull up, so I whip my head around and my face just drops. My eyes get all wide. It's a cop. This dude's smoking big. And I see him look at me in my face He turns around, sees the cop. He's like, oh shit. He turns around, puts the joint out with his fingers, shoves it into his pocket, and just kind of stands there, seeing what's going to happen. Of course, the cop pulls in, gets out of the car with his, his sunglasses on, intimidation belt, walking up, and he's just got this look of disgust on his face, and he's like, I could smell it before I even got out of the car. Who's got the weed? He looks around at all of us. He looks at me. I'm shaking in my boots with my ankle monitor on. Of course, with the long hair, stoner look, this dude comes right up to me, and he's just like, all right, where is it? And I'm like, listen, I'm on probation. I can't even smoke weed. Check the ankle bracelet. And he looks at my friend who's stone sober. So he looks at both of us. He's like, all right. Turns around and walks over to the dude that was actually blazing. And he's like, all right, so where is it? Do I have to search everybody here? And there's kind of just this standstill, The atmosphere is thick. You could cut it with a knife, like that episode of Scooby-Doo where they cut the fog out and eat it like cheese. The tension is high, the patience of the police officers dropping like the Titanic, and out of nowhere, the dude that was blazing was just like, all right, you got me. Let me go get it from my truck. He goes over the truck, the cop follows him. He opens the car door and just reaches in and grabs this metal cigarette container. It's like a little metal cigarette holder. He's just like, here you go, man. Sorry. And the cop opens it up. And this thing is full to the brim. I'm talking king size Wiz Khalifa level joints. Like 7 or 8 in a row. It was like this really big metal case. And the cop looks at him like, dude, this is a lot of bud. Like, you really need this much on you? And he's just like, yeah, that's just how much I smoke every day. He's like, you got a problem, man. But he was being really polite to the police officer. The cop wasn't being polite whatsoever. I mean, he kind of eased up a little bit once he got his way, but he was just kind of giving the rundown like, dude, you cannot be coming here and doing this. I'm going to be coming back here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. You cannot come here with weed ever again. And the dude who was smoking was like, all right, I won't do it again. Like, sorry about this. And he's like, since you were honest with me, since you gave it up, I can't give it back to you, obviously, and I don't want to see you here again doing this. But I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to throw all of this into the river. And I could feel my heart shrivel up inside as I watched this cop go over to the riverbank, open up this metal container, and just take the J's one by one, crack them in half, throw it all into the river. What a sad sight. Leave a like on the video. Just a sad sight. I just remember seeing all that greenery just floating down the river, floating away. Tragic. Truly tragic. So the cop walks back up and kind of goes into let's teach a lesson mode. And he's like, all right, guys, I'm talking to all of you here. None of you better be coming back here with bud. All right, I'm going to be coming back every day to check. If I catch any of you guys doing that, you're getting arrested. Acting all super tough. And I'm just sitting there like, whatever, I didn't do anything. I'm just swimming. And then the cop walks up to me and he looks down at my ankle bracelet. And you could clearly see I'm wet head to toe. I had been off the rope swing probably 20 times today. He looks at me and he's like, aren't you not supposed to submerge that in water? And I look at him like, oh, you're probably right, officer. Maybe I shouldn't be swimming. I had completely forgot that was one of the rules. Like, you could take showers, it could get wet, but being submerged in water, I don't think you were supposed to do that. But it never broke. Right? That would have sucked. It didn't break. But he just gave me this condescending like, yeah, you should have known that, man. So he probably said once again before he got into his car, like, don't come back here with bud, like, I'm gonna catch you. And he drives off real slow. And I walk up to the dude who was blazing, and he is just like, sigh of relief. He had dodged a bullet. And I was like, dude, I'm so glad that, you didn't get arrested or something. And he's just like, yeah, me too, man. That wasn't all my bud. I got a bunch more in the truck. I don't know why he didn't search it. And then sadly, he was like, man, I don't think I can ever come back here again. Because he didn't want to go down there and just go off the rope swing. He wanted to blaze and go off the rope swing. That was half the fun. Getting baked out of your mind and feeling like you're in a video game in slow motion, swinging down into the river, flying through the air in the rush of the cold water while you're 10 out of 10, no one's home baked was so fun. And the fun times were coming to an end. This was one of my favorite people that used to go down there, but he had dodged 3 bullets, dude. This dude's in the Matrix just dodging bullets in slow motion because he explained he was on parole. And if he had gotten arrested that day, he would have gone to jail for like 5 or 6 years or something crazy. I don't know how anybody can maintain their composure on that level, knowing the consequences of like what's about to happen. He was like straight faced, like, yeah, dude, here it is, and being completely calm. you could tell he was nervous because it was a cop. How could you not be nervous when you're getting caught blazing by the police? Especially back then, before it was all legal and everything. I think this is one of the craziest closest call type stories that I have on my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you've ever gotten caught blazing in the comments down below. Thank you to everybody supporting me on Patreon. I'll put a list of all the names on screen right now. For $1 or $2 a month, you can support the channel and get access to 180 plus unlisted videos where I'm blazing, answering questions, looking at bud pics submitted from you guys, going on nature hikes. Whole lot of fun content. I have a lot of fun making those. Thank you to everybody on screen for your support. It really helps me out. Check the link in the pinned comment below for more information. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. Join the Discord, discord.gg